If you love the look of acrylic markers on crafts and cards, but you don't want to spend a fortune getting them, this video is for you. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel, and in today's video, I am sharing one of the latest release from Arrtx of acrylic markers. The cool thing about acrylic markers is that they work on a variety of surfaces because it's like acrylic paint coming out of the marker. So they work on transparencies, they work on darker color of cardstocks because they're opaque, and they work on things like wood and porcelain. Since we're officially in the gift-giving season, today I'm going to focus on a card, a wood tag, and decorative gift wrap created with your acrylic markers. Let me first share the new colors that are included in this release. This is the new set of Arrtx acrylic markers. There are 30 colors included in the set. They're all water-based, they have a brush tip, they're bright and opaque, and they work on a variety of surfaces. You can see that the box itself is nice and sturdy, would be great to give as a gift to a fellow crafter or yourself. There are 2 trays of markers. You can see you get all the colors of the rainbow. These are the brights. You also get a metallic gold and a metallic silver. The brush tip is always ready to go. You don't need to shake the marker. You don't need to prime the tip. It always has acrylic paint flowing to the tip. So you can see I am going to swatch them all out on white cardstock and then a navy cardstock. I thought something different this time. Usually I do black, but I love the way these colors look on navy as well. Like I mentioned, they are opaque, so they show up on those dark colors of cardstocks, which is really nice to have because your other markers like a felt tip or an alcohol marker is going to sink right in. It's not going to sit on the surface of the paper, and so it's going to look muddy when you try and color it in. So again, you could store the markers in this box. It is that sturdy if you don't have room on your desk for another set of markers, and then just take them out and then you have the 2 trays to work with. Let's take a look at all these colors, and again, that gold and silver show up really beautifully on darker colors of cardstock. Now let's take a quick look at how those colors compare to the sets already released by Arrtx. The set on the right is the set that I'm going to be working with today. That is the 30B set. The set on the left is the previously released marker set of acrylic markers with the brush tip. There are 30 colors in that set as well. Those are the pastels. So you can see there's lighter pinks and lighter yellows. There's also lighter blues and purples underneath. You don't get in the pastel set the silver and gold. In both sets, you get a white and a black. I feel like in the second set, that white and black are very opaque, and all the colors together complete an entire rainbow from lights to darks. There's also a 32 marker set from Arrtx. These are dual tipped acrylic markers. So on one end you have a brush tip, on the other end you have a fine point tip. So just depending on your needs and what type of crafts you're doing with these will depend on which markers you should get. And now let's get a little crafty with these acrylic markers. I wanted to start out with the inspiration for today's pattern. I got these acrylic glasses from Target a few years ago. I only have 2 left, but I always loved the simplicity of the pattern and the colors. So I'm going to try and recreate that with my acrylic markers on a present that is wrapped with butcher paper. I love wrapping presents with butcher paper because it's like a clean slate, and then you can decorate it with different types of decorations to make it really special and customized. So today I am doing those simple asterisks or stars or snowflakes or whatever they are, and I'm adding some dots in these colors. I decided to add in white because I love the way it shows up on that butcher paper, which is kind of like a craft cardstock. So that's what I'll be using later in the video. So you can see how nice and opaque the markers are. They are drying very quickly, even though they're sitting on top of the paper. And that's really handy because you don't want it taking forever to dry. So I set them aside for a few minutes, and then they're basically ready to be wrapped up or tagged or put a bow on them. I previously shared how you can use wood ornaments with the Arrtx markers, and I had a whole bunch of ornaments left. So I thought what I would do is use them as tags instead of ornaments. So I'm going to use the same pattern, the same colors, and I'm going to decorate the tag and then customize it with the recipients' names on the tags. So again, just little dots and then those stars, and then the tags come with these little loops of twine for the ornament. And so I'm just going to use the same type of jute twine to tie a ribbon around the gift wrap and then tie the tag to that as well. And it just has such a unique and customized look, and I love the pattern and I love the colors, which could obviously be customized for all different holidays. You can do Valentine's Day or birthdays or somebody's favorite colors, and obviously you could do Christmas as well. So this is a really easy way to do your own DIY gift wrap and tag, but of course I wanted a card to match. So I'm using a die set from a previous video. This is the Stamp Market Santa cover die, and I'm going to cut it out of Stamp Market Kraft cardstock. And once I do that, I'm going to flip it over and put some tape runner around all the craft areas that are still there, that haven't been die cut out. And then I'm going to flip it over one more time, and I'm going to lay it down on an A2 transparency. I'm using Judican's embossable plastic because I am going to heat emboss the sentiment right on the Santa beard. So next up, I took the die set and I cut out the Santa hat out of red cardstock, and then there are two dies, one for the brim and one for the pom-pom. So I cut those out of white cardstock, and I'm just using tape runner to adhere those down. Next up, I'm going to recreate the pattern that I made on the gift wrap and on the tag right around the Santa on the Kraft cardstock. I mentioned that the Kraft looks very much like the butcher paper, so this all ties everything together, which is so much fun. It makes the gift giving even that more customized and unique. I'm going to put a bunch of anti-static powder on the transparency because that is very staticky, and then I'm going to lay the Santa greetings sentiment right on the beard, pick it up with my Misty, and then stamp it down with Versamark ink. It says, "'Tis the season to be jolly." I'm going to pour white embossing powder right on top, tap off the excess, and then I'm just gonna use a dry brush to get away any little bits that are still stuck because of all that static. Then I'm going to heat set it. And once I do that, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to use one of the white acrylic markers to outline the beard. Once I heat embossed in white, I realized I couldn't place this shaker window on top of white cardstock because you wouldn't be able to see the sentiment. So I decided to make the beard stand out by outlining it with that white acrylic marker on the back of the transparency so I don't have to set it in any way. Then I used foam tape in a square around the beard and an extra piece at the top just to keep that part popped up so it wouldn't flatten down. And then I'm going to take an A2 piece of the Kraft cardstock and just lay it right on top, try and line it up at the bottom and on the sides, finally peel off that top piece of foam tape's protective layer, and then really rub everything in place to make sure it's stuck down so those shaker goodies stay inside. I love the Pretty Pink Posh marshmallow confetti goodies inside that beard. It really makes it stand out along with all of the acrylic marker elements. I did want to add the gold because I was so excited about the metallic and then I didn't end up using it because of the colors on the cup. So I decided to add in little bits of gold, and you can see it really shines on the butcher paper, the card, and the wood tag. So those metallics are a nice addition to the set. I don't know about you, but I love the new colors in this release, and I'm a big fan of these acrylic markers because they can be used on so many surfaces and because of their price point. If you want to see another video of me using Arrtx acrylic markers in different ways, check it out over here. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. I don't know about you, but I love I don't know about you, but I love the colors in. I don't know about you, but I am a super fan. I don't know about you, but I love the new colors.